This is a outstretched arm of where we're heading with these data centers. Yep. Where they want to basically take all our jobs, but for the most part, many of them. Let me just give you some facts with some agencies. Gerald Fund, which is an analyst, say by 2028, 45 million of our jobs can be taken. McKinsey, another analyst firm, says 30% decrease in our jobs. Some analysts say between finance, legal, customer service, and knowledgeable work, some analysts say as much as 50% of our jobs can be taken by these data centers. But I say, ladies and gentlemen, let's make a stand. Now, we all know the environmental issues that we're concerned about. But the biggest issue is people need jobs. We were made to work. Work is good. And the data centers are taking our jobs at an incredible pace. And I wanted to give you a personal example of what happened to my son. Thank you. I got to tell you this, gang, and this is a Paul Revere message. Forget about politics or running for anything. Paul Revere. Talked about guns a little bit, talked about illegals a little bit, talked about developers a little bit. I got to talk about this AI stuff, fellas and ladies. It's coming like a tsunami, right? It's going to take prayer. It's going to take a miracle, all right? Amen. Amen. This is not coming from an analyst. This is not coming from somebody that's trying to get clicks off the internet. This is the CEO of Microsoft, which has 288,000 employees. And this is what he said. Mustafa Suleyman, that's his name, who is the Microsoft CEO in charge of its AI transformation, has forecast that almost all tech jobs, from marketing to project management to accountants and even lawyers, will be replaced by AI before the middle of 2027. If this does not scare the pants off you, it should. This is how fast it is coming, and that's the CEO. And what's disgusting about that is he liked that. Because he says, we're more efficient now. You know how many jobs we're going to lose? In the United States. Because, see, in the United States, we have Microsoft's technology. But their horses, the people that do the work, are in other countries. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So they have 228,000 employees altogether. 175,000 work here. They're all white collar, and they're going to all lose their jobs. 175,000 people are going to lose their jobs, according to him, by mid-27. These are CEO numbers that I just got off of this article. Companies laying off staff this year, rounding it up. Amazon in 2026, laying off 30,000, Oracle 30,000, Intel 27,000, Citibank 20,000, Dell Computer 11,000, Estee Lauder 10,000, Heineken 6,000, Tylenol 2,500, Nike 1,400. And anybody ever hear of Waymo? Waymo? Yeah. Driverless cars? Yeah. New York City alone, they're going to take over 100,000 positions with driverless cars. So I'll wrap it up here. None of this is gloom and doom. It's knowledge. And once you get the knowledge, then you act on it. And I will defend you. I will protect you. For selfish reasons, I like Florida. My wife likes Florida. I have 8 children that love Florida. I have 27 grandchildren that love Florida. And I know everyone in this room has the same. So I'll end it with God bless you. Thank you for coming.
Scott with SJ Wellfire. I'm actually interviewing James Shaw, who is running for Florida governor. This is my first interview, and James has some playbooks to stop artificial intelligence data centers. He actually is the only candidate I've ever seen ever warn about AI taking the jobs. Welcome, James Shaw.
Thank you, Scott. Thank
Awesome.
you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to run for governor.
Okay, Scott, first off, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any drugs, I'm not on any antidepressants, and that isn't a joke in these days. You should know that right up front. I've been married for 44 years. I have 8 children, 27 grandchildren. I have 3 sons that play Division I football, 2 at Penn State, 1 at Maryland. My daughters, school teachers, moms. I'm active. I'm in it to win it. As far as jobs go, I'm a manager by trade. I cut my teeth in the freight business. I managed 550 Teamsters up in local 430 up in Harrisburg, truck drivers, pickup and delivery men, mechanics, whatever it was. 600 people were under the roof. 550 people were Teamsters. Tough bunch. You learned how to negotiate. You learned how to navigate, delegate. You learned how to keep quiet, how to open your mouth. It was a good management experience. Then I owned my own company, 400 employees, non-union. Whole different ballgame. Same thing with logistics and transportation. And then I said, forget about all of it. My wife and I said, let's try something different after 20 or so years. And we ended up buying 3 Auntie Anne's franchises. The Pretzels, I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Oh, yeah.
An Amish woman by the name of Ann Byler owned Auntie Anne's.
She was Amish.
Yes, she was Amish.
Wow.
But she was renegade Amish.
Okay.
She ended up driving to her operation on a motorcycle, not a horse and buggy.
Yeah.
Anyway, she personally taught me how to make a pretzel in a lemonade. So what an experience there. And you learned a lot. You learned about health inspections and mall agreements and a whole different world. But I learned a lot. But I did learn the difference between managing 550 Teamsters and 30 teenage girls. What a war that was. And I've been a farmer for the last 16 years. In Okeechobee, I have a crew. We organic information, organic compost, and I love it.
Awesome.
I love it. Right now, I'm in the run. I'm in the race.
So why I wanted to do this interview, recently moving to Florida, probably 30 to 40% of my podcasts are about stopping artificial intelligence, warning about this control system that is taking place. And I was blown away watching this closely, how you and others helped stop an AI data center in Okeechobee. Let's dive deep into that. What's the playbook that people can follow? Give us some context why these are so dangerous. Take it where you want to go to be an inspiration for others to get involved.
Well, Scott, a couple words in your opening line in your podcast is end days final report. This is almost, AI is almost like a second Noah's flood to me. The flood encompassed the whole world. The flood destroyed the whole world. And to a degree, this AI is putting a blanket over the whole world. And it's coming at us like a tsunami. Just like 5 or 6 years ago, out of nowhere, these towers kept coming up, these cell towers. What are they doing here? They're in every neighborhood. They came like that, like that, like that. And as time went on, we became used to them. But we got a little smarter as a public. And this time, people are waking up. They're hearing about the data centers. They're hearing about the environmental issues, the job issues. They're hearing about what it's going to do to their neighborhoods. And what we did in Okeechobee, in Florida, a young man started a campaign to get signatures. He got over 3,000 signatures on Facebook.
Wow.
And then we had our day in front of the county commissioners. And about 25 of us went up, spoke our piece, explained each of us with facts on what it was going to do to the community, environmentally and economically. And actually, Ron DeSantis ends up within 3 hours calling the county and canceling the whole operation. But it took, number one, more than just talk. This is a monster gang. This needs our attention. You can't be a whiner or a complainer in this area. You have to be a doer. You have to get involved with your commissioners. You have to get involved with your planning committee, even if it's just a phone call, and say, hey, I've heard rumors. Is this coming? Is this data center coming? What is going on? Otherwise, it'll be just like it was with the towers. They're just coming in. You don't know what hit you, and next thing you know, it's there. So what we did in Okeechobee, we were all activists, grassroots, at the ground level, not talking, but doing.
I love it. And then I'll cut in the video with the Paul Revere speech that you did on how this is not a right-left issue. This is basically we the people versus the system. And it kind of throws away my takeaway from your speech. It throws away certain issues of like affordability. I mean, it's I think you used the word tsunami, Paul Revere moment. Take us through what's coming.
Well, gang, Paul Revere, what did Paul Revere do? He woke up the people while they were asleep. And he said, the British are coming. The British are coming. He woke them up. And that's what we need, a wake up as to what this is. Let me give you some information about what we're up against. When you think AI, you think big tech, right? And you don't get any larger than Microsoft. Let me give you a quote here. The CEO of Microsoft, his name is Mustafa Suleiman. He's in charge of AI transformation, has forecast that almost all tech jobs from marketing to project management to accountants, even lawyers, will be replaced by AI before the middle of 2027. So this isn't a generational thing. This isn't decades. This is months. He's saying all those jobs are going to be taken over by AI by the middle of 2027. That's what we're dealing with. And he's proud of it. Here's another comment. Mustafa Suleiman, Microsoft's AI chief, said in February that he believed AI would be able to replace most white-collar work within the next 12 to 18 months. Now, here's the scary thing. Microsoft has 288,000 employees worldwide. 175,000 are white-collar, and they're all in the United States. The people that assemble, the people that do all the physical work, the remainder of the 288 are in foreign countries. But it's Mustafa's goal to lay off, to eliminate every white-collar job in the United States. And that would be 175,000 jobs. So when we're talking about affordability of housing, et cetera, just imagine having a mortgage, having a family, having a car payment, and next thing you know, 175,000 people basically within 3 months might not have a home to live in. And he's boasting about it because he's saying we're productive. This is where the X and the Y axis of productivity and basically social existence don't combine. And I have some other data. And this came from CEOs of companies, all because of AI, this tsunami that's coming within months. Amazon, 30,000 jobs. Oracle, 30,000 jobs. Intel, the loss of 27,000 jobs. Citibank, 20,000 jobs. Dell Computer, 11,000 jobs. Estee Lauder, 10,000, Heineken, 6,000, Tylenol, 2,500, Target, 500 office jobs, UPS in 2025 alone, because of their AI and their logistics department, 62,000 jobs, and they plan on laying off 30,000. Scott, as we said, end times, final times, we are getting strangled by this monster. As I said, not even environmentally. Environmentally, these AI centers, let me give you another fact here. on how big they could be. Just a reminder, said a man in a puffed vest, he was at a meeting, who identified himself as Larry, who worked at an NFL football field, which is 57,000 square feet. A 1.8 million square foot hyperscale data center is about 32 football fields.
Wow.
That's how big these are. And they could use as many as 50,000 gallons to over 2 million gallons of water a day.
Wow.
That's how big they are.
You mentioned Amazon jobs.
Yes.
It just dawned on me. I bet some of those jobs are in the warehouse, blue collar jobs. Think of driverless cars. You mentioned a story in one of your videos that was personal to you. This is going to attack blue collar jobs too.
Oh, it's kind of a fun story because my son was a heck of a football player. He got his degree, and he ended up saying, "Hey, I love the job I have." And what he is a taxi cab driver in Orlando. Now Orlando supposedly is the second best place in the world to be a taxi cab driver.
Yeah.
Because of Disneyland, because it's Florida, because it more or less never sleeps, so you can work whenever you want. He loves it. He gets to work, and at the same token, he can take time off to watch his kids' football games. So he's looking at it from a career aspect, taxi cab driver. Well, there's a company called Waymo, W-A-Y-M-O, subsidiary of Google. He calls me up. He says, "Dad, you aren't going to believe this. We're basically getting attacked by driverless taxi cabs." Waymo was introduced to Orlando. They were already in LA, San Francisco, and Dallas. And now they were on their way to Orlando. No driver at all. I drove up. I looked at it. It looked like a spaceship. All four tires had radar. There was radar up in front. And then you look and there's absolutely no driver. I actually saw the Waymo car pass another car out. Wow. I mean, leave the right lane, go into the left, pass the car out, get back into the right lane. So this is where we're headed. I also have a son-in-law who's a FedEx driver. And within his truck, they were testing while he was driving, the movements of his eyes, how he slumps, his reaction times. And I don't necessarily think they were doing that for the human aspect. I believe they were gathering technical information to replace his job.
Yes.
All right. And the Waymo company says within the next year, they want to have 100,000 driverless vehicles in all kinds of capacities. 100,000 in New York City, taking all those jobs away. All those jobs.
What do you think this means in the next couple of years, and how do we combat it?
It's got to be stopped. What can I tell you? It's got to be stopped. Of course, you need technology in the game of war to protect yourself, military reasons. But if you are going to just use this technology so people don't have to work, it gets dangerous. Because now it becomes universal basic income. Because what are you going to do with these people? Now they're going to make the houses that you live in because you can't afford to do anything. Now communism is totally running the show because there's no room to get better because the machines are doing all your jobs. And there's actually a factory in Dallas, and they're just getting ready to start it, 1,000 robots, taking away 1,000 jobs. And they never rest, they never sleep, and they never argue or complain. So that's what we're up against.
Man. Byron, I was researching him. He's supported by Trump. He has $67 million in his war chest and $5 million PAC money from AI. And he is promoting AI data centers under the guise of, I don't want my personal data in Virginia or blue states or in China. That's how he's selling it.
Yes.
And I'm like, what garbage. What, you have any thoughts about that?
Well, I read an article the other day. It was a headline article, and it said Byron Donalds was running for governor, the $67 million man. And it kind of perturbs me when just every politician's, his positives are based on how much money is he taking in. Because if you follow the rabbit trail, hey, who's giving him the money? The big boys, the lobbyists. In other words, I have something I want from you. Here's the money. So he's got a minimum of $5 million from people that are involved in AI. Very, very scary. Very scary. We cannot have sellouts in this area. We have to have somebody that actually loves the people, loves society, wants to maintain the culture, realizes that human beings were made to work. And if you take their jobs away, socially, mentally, physically, there's nowhere to go but downhill.
Yeah. You mentioned universal basic income. They're priming us to just sit around, do nothing, probably a social credit score.
Yes.
You've warned about smart cities in your videos. I mean,
it's actually, it's scary because it's here.
Yeah.
And it's happening so fast. And I'll tell you about this one employee I had on the farm. He collected unemployment. He was in his early 30s, and he didn't work. And he just started eating. Next thing you know, he ballooned up. He got 40 pounds heavier in 6 months because of just eating, doing nothing. These are realities because we are humans. We have to bring these factors in to society. No job, but finally, we found him a job as working on a roof, and he slowly got back into society, huffing and puffing, and he got his job back. But I mean, these are, laziness, slothfulness, getting out of shape, bad attitudes. A lot of this is because of idleness. And we are heading towards...
Yeah. In one of your videos, you said, we were meant to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first job, Adam was given. Take care of the garden. Then he was told to name the animals. Then he was told to be fruitful and multiply. So we're, sometimes we miss the simplicity of us being human beings. Just the simplicity. And this is the rough situation we're in.